Hello everyone, we are Group B. Our group members are Dominic Chan Asu, Morgan Scrub, Shalom Chisholm, and myself, Fredessa Reed. We will be taking you in an in-depth discussion on the environmental impacts of gold mining in Guyana and the measures that can be taken to balance economic development with environmental sustainability. Moving forward, we'll address these three main points in the documentary. The first point we will look at is when the gold mining industry in Guyana started and how far it has come currently. The second point, the effects of gold mining in Guyana. And the third point we will examine is measures that can be taken to balance economic development with environmental sustainability. Now let us look at where it all started. Gold mining in Guyana has a long history, dating back to the time of European exploration in the region. However, large-scale gold mining operations began in the late 19th century, during the colonial period, when British and other European powers controlled the territory. Back then, Guyana was already among the top 10 most productive gold producers globally. The industry saw significant growth during this period, with the first official record of production dating back to 1884. The industry also saw significant growth in the 20th century, with the development of modern mining techniques and infrastructure. Today, artisanal and small-scale gold mining is prevalent in Guyana, contributing significantly to the country's economy. Centuries after European explorers came in search of the fabled golden city of El Dorado, Guyana continues to be known for its natural resources and growing mining sector. Gold plays a central role in Guyana's economy, representing about 64% of its foreign exchange and 15% of its total economic output. The artisanal and small-scale gold mining sector in Guyana is robust, accounting for 70% of its gold production, and it is fully legalized, a unique distinction among gold-producing countries. It is also the primary source of employment and revenue for more than 15,000 people in Guyana's hinterland, including members of local indigenous communities. According to the global data, Guyana is the world's 25th largest producer of gold in 2022, with output down by 3.65% in 2021. Over the 5 years period to 2021, production from Guyana decreased by a CAGR of 2.34 and is expected to rise by a CAGR of 2% between 2022 and 2026. Global Data uses proprietary data and analytics to provide a complete picture of this market in its Global Gold Mining 2026 report. We will now look at the effects of gold mining in Guyana, because although it's a lucrative industry, it has several impacts on the environment, and it can be devastating if it's not conducted in a sound manner. First, we will look at how it affects the air. Many ASGM miners use mercury in the final stage of gold extraction, directly exposing themselves to hazardous fumes. Before a site can be mined, overburden is usually removed from the site along with vegetation. This, as well as when overburden is stored or returned to mining pits for closure, releases particulate matter into the air. Soil becomes exposed to the weather elements and particles become airborne with wind erosion and the traffic of vehicles. Dangerous materials such as arsenic and lead may be present in particulate matter, which can adversely affect air quality and health. So that is how mining affects the air. Now we look at how it affects the land. As land is removed from mining, much of the surface features are lost and cannot be replaced at closure. Further, valuable plant species may be lost, along with the habitats of several animals, causing the death and migration of wildlife. Deforestation from mining contributes to the release of carbon dioxide into the air, which increases the rate of climate change. Small-scale gold mining is a significant driver of deforestation and the country's largest source of mercury emissions. Good. So now we will look at how it affects the water. When mining is done near water sources, the risk of metal contamination and increased sedimentation levels is very high. Improperly managed practices result in increased soil erosion and can cause high siltation of rivers and creeks. Tailings containing mercury and other harmful chemicals threaten the fishery sector, domestic water supply, and human health. So here we can see that the mining sector does not only affect the air, or it does not only affect the water nor the land. It affects all three of them. And all three of them are very, very important in sustaining life. So it is very important that we seek ways by which we can promote sustainable development.
And now finally, we've reached the measures taken to balance economic and development with environmental sustainability. To ensure that mining has a reduced environmental impact, the practices used now should be such that they do not compromise the needs of future generations. As such, the mining authorities have been making steady progress in implementing a change to better environmental practices in mining. Mining regulations are in place to which miners are expected to adhere to guide safe mining practices. These regulations include, but are not limited to, the requirement of land management plans, particularly for land reclamation and waste management plans, inclusive of cleaner production technologies, waste reduction, and disposal. Miners are required to utilize the best technologies and designs available to reduce or avoid the use of harmful substances such as mercury and to avoid pollution of water resources. Mining must be done as efficiently and safely as possible to reduce potential impacts on the environment on human health. Recommended best practices for promoting sustainable mining comprise of methods and practices that would minimize the environmental impact of the activity while simultaneously improving the economic return of mining. These include harmonizing Guyana's royalty rates with those of neighboring states such as Brazil and Suriname to remove opportunities for arbitrage in smuggling gold to lower royalty and tax jurisdictions. The next point is to situate mining within an integrated land management model, ILMM, with all the other land use sectors. This would, however, require the development of a national land use policy and information management system. Apart from addressing land conflict, an ILMM would provide the framework for sustainable mineral extraction. Next, we can cluster and organize the smaller scale operators so that they can share the use of expensive technology and incentivize the branding of green or certifiably sustainable gold to earn price premiums in the marketplace. Moving on, we can promote progressive reclamation and revegetation. The mining regulations of 2005 require the submission of a mine reclamation plan and closure plan. However, it is not compulsory for small-scale miners to reclaim or revegetate these mine sites after ceasing operations. This is in stark contrast with some other countries where progressive reclamation and revegetation are mandatory. In this regard, however, the regulations should be amended to make land reclamation compulsory. Additionally, we should adopt more efficient and environmentally friendly technologies and use of technology to aid regulation. With the impending ban on the use of mercury, it is imperative that mercury-free technologies be promoted, since studies conducted by staff of the GGMC reveal that mercury-free technologies, such as the Nelson concentrator, are financially feasible. Our last point is to restructure and strengthen the government agencies that regulate and promote mining. In its current form, the lead regulatory agency struggles with its mandate, given the number of miners who operate in the sector, vis-a-vis the number of mines officers. And now, that brings us to the end of the presentation. Thank you for watching.